So I should have showed you at the end of the last video that, in isometric view again, there's all the walls. Kind of hard to see with this shape in the background. Let me just get that. Anytime I move something, if I'm moving something out of the way, I always move it 111 feet, either up or down or to the right or to the left. It's just easy because you're just hitting the 111 right in a row, and it's just a way for me to remember. So that's how I move things. So that's currently 100 feet to the north. If I want to move it back down, oops, I just move it down. So it's right in. So anyway, that's all the partitions and the exterior walls as it's currently drawn. I draw it in a GL, open GL rendering. That's what they look like. All right, so next thing I would want to do is show you floors. So this would be an example of having something not in the correct view and wanting to get back to the right layer in the right view. I had said to click on working one, and there you go. So I'm going to get rid of these two things down here. Those are just the 2x4 and 2x6 things that I did for you. And I'm going to zoom out and grab that shape up above and move it back down. So there's two things that, so there's a floor shape that would basically be this exact same shape. This currently, if you look at the class, it's floors HVAC square footage calculation. This is keyed to, if I show you on here, this is a sheet layer. This little thing down here, this finished HVAC. HVAC means heating, ventilation, and cooling, or heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. So anyway, that shape is 2,228 square feet. It's basically showing me how much of the house is going to be heated and air conditioned. So if I go back to this doesn't have any dimension though. If you remember when I put it into an isometric, it just stayed a big geometric shape. So to make that a floor, it's got to be in a different class because a floor is different from this polygon that is simply there just to calculate that square footage, that HVAC square footage on that other sheet that I just showed you. So I would just duplicate this. So to duplicate this shape, because it's going to be the same shape for the floor, I'm just going to hit Command D. It doesn't look like anything happened, but now there's two of these in place. So there's that one and there's that one. So I'm going to take one of them and I'm going to change the class. I'm going to make it floor new framing. You can see that the color changed. So now I have two polygons. One's in the floor new framing class, and the other one, the white one, is still in the HVAC calc class. So the one that's the floor new framing, I'm going to create into a floor, and I'm going to go up to the AEC menu. I'm going to go to floors, and 99 times out of 100 these are going to be 10 inches thick. So the bottom Z, you're going to go to -10, and the thickness is going to be 10. And now I have a floor. I'm going to send that to, turn off the guides. You can see it's on top of the walls, or at least in front of the walls. You can't see the walls, so I'm just going to hit Command B and send that to the back. And this white one That's the HVAC calc. I'm just going to move that out of the way for a second. Move it down 111 feet. And so now I'm going to show you an isometric. Your floor is there. So now we have a floor. And I'll show you why it was -10 and +10. I'm going to just look at it from straight on now. So I'm looking at it in a front view. This is a top plan view. A front view is just like looking at the house from the way, like if you were standing at the front door. The other views are back view. That would be the rear of the house, or right side or left side. And I have key commands for that. So sometimes I switch between views just with my key command. So my key command is just it's actually Shift Command 1 for front and Shift Command 2 for back. So this is the front the front elevation, or the front view. So you can see the floor is right here, and the walls go to the bottom of the floor. It's kind of hard to describe, I guess. So the walls are, remember, they were 9 foot 1 1/8 tall. So I'm just going to draw a square here to show you that. So there's the 9 foot 1 1/8. That's the height of the wall from the top of the floor. And then the floor itself is 10 inches thick. So sometimes I will model, anytime I model an exterior view of these, I usually don't show the floor. It's kind of hard to describe. So anyway, just trust me. Some of these are and like this. Here's an interior partition wall. You can see it doesn't go down below the it's literally sitting on top of the floor system. But the exterior walls, they're drawn so that if I don't have the floor system turned on in an exterior rendering, the extra 10 inches that go below the floor surface will cover up what would be a gap if the floor system was turned off. So picture I'm in an exterior rendering like this, and I'm rendering it. If these walls didn't go, if I turn off this, if I turn off the floors, the wall, the extra 10 inches on the bottom of the wall basically cover up the floor system. So that's the easiest way to explain it. So anyway, I'm going to turn that back on. So keep in mind though, some of these exterior walls, I have a couple different wall styles. Some of them are like here. I have brick 2x4 and brick 2x4 with no floor. So that means that it does not have that extra 10 inches below the floor surface. That's basically what that means. All right, so turn back on go back to working one basically. And I'm just going to draw the garage floor and both of these patios. So to do that, I'm just going to use this polygon tool. I know that I'm in the correct layer. I'm on layer 1 floor plan. The class that I'm going to pick is the floors, new concrete exterior. That's for the front porch. And I'm just going to click around. So right now, if you look over in the object info palette, that's just a polygon. Got to make it a floor. So for exterior concrete, again, AEC, floor, I want the bottom of the floor to be the same as the bottom of the floor for the framing of the house. So if I go -10 and then I go, a thickness for concrete is going to be 4 inches, that means that I'll have a 6-inch step to get up into the house from the porch. From there to there is going to be a 6-inch step, and I'll just show you like this. Oh, actually, I'll put it in front view. So if the front door was right here, for instance, you'd be standing here, and you'd be, because this is 4 inches here, and this is 10 inches here, but the bottom's aligned, so the difference is the 6 inches right here. So you'd be stepping 6 inches up into the house. Let's get rid of those. All right, so now you have a concrete slab that's 4 inches thick. It's in the correct class, and let's repeat that. Let's repeat that for this back patio. This is perfectly square, so I could pick either that tool or that tool. I'm just going to pick the square tool. Draw a square. It's 20 by 18, so I know I'm right on the money. This should be preset. And there's your concrete patio for that. And then lastly would be the garage. For the garage, I'm going to pour the concrete to the inside of the wall, but to the outside of doors. So this is the door. There's 3 garage doors here. 1, 2, 3. So I'm just going to start right here. I'm going to use a polygon tool, and I'm going to pour this to the, instead of going to the outside and drawing it around the outside like that, I'm going to draw it to the inside. But when I get to a garage door, I'm going to go to the outside. Come in around the wall, go back to the outside of the next garage door. Stop there, go up, around. I'll zoom out here in a second to show you this. I'm just zooming in and zooming out. Okay, so there's your polygon. And I'm going to make that into a floor. It's already set to a -10 plus 4. So there it is. I'm just going to change color real quick to show you. So that's how I went to the inside of the walls in the garage, but where it came to a garage door, I went outside. Change that back. All right, and it's currently sitting on top of the walls, or in front of the walls, I should say. So I'm going to hit Command B to send it to the back. All right. So if I just slide all that out of the way, so now I have all of the floors are drawn for this first floor anyway. I'm going to draw it. I'm going to take off the guides layer, throw it in isometric view. Oops. Render it. And that's how that looks.